Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday morning. There is some dude building a fence on the other side of the wall, just like a little bit away. But we're just gonna try to talk over that and get going with the Tuesday Life Yoga. So hopefully you have your mats ready and you have a blanket if needed. And then I also have this awesome strap that I showed last week, in which I do like some band exercises with, but it still helps to kind of like help bring me forward. It kind of just gives me that little bit of support that my body needs. And so I always like to have these things handy. I already drank my hot water with lemon today. It was so lovely. I went grocery shopping last night. If you look at a couple of posts behind, you can see what was in my grocery cart. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and meet at the front of the mat, feet together, big toes, ankles, everything together. We're going to look down. We're going to rise our little toesies, and then we're going to rise our heels and then back with the toes, and then we're just going to find that full connection with Mother Earth wherever you are. And we're going to flex the toes, so we're going to really grip our little piggies into Mother Earth. You can spread your toes a little bit wider and then kind of grip on. You're going to find a slight bend at the knees, so we're not going to lock our knees. And then we're going to, I'm a little bit cold, that's why my hands are in my pocket, but we're going to start to just sway our hands side to side. We're going to start to create some spinal movement here, just juicing up and lubricating the spine, body. Maybe take a deep breath to kind of arrive to this space. You are here now. And for this time until 11 a.m. or earlier, you are here. Nothing else matters. Your phone calls, your emails, they can wait. You're here. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the pace, and we're going to kind of crease at the knees a little bit. Ouch. And we're going to find bigger movements. I can feel my clavicle just like activating a little bit, kind of a weird placing. And then we're going to go ahead and start to slow it down, bring it back in. This is level for everybody, yoga avec Miz Ruba. And then go ahead and just stand still once you start to arrive back to your centeredness. Maybe close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. Right now my hips are pretty pushed forward, and I'm not going to judge that because I am going to adjust it, but I'm just going to acknowledge. So I want you to close your eyes if you'd like or can, and maybe just acknowledge your posture without changing it. Just simply acknowledge where you are. Go ahead and inhale through your nose as you exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Take two more. Inhale in. One more. And then go ahead and blink softly, open your eyes. We're going to go ahead and look down at our feet. We're going to create two fists, find a deep bend at the knees, and we're going to place the fists in between our feet. Now the outer edges of the feet are going to be parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Again, lift up your little piggies, lift up your heels, lift up your little piggies, lift up your heels, and just kind of make that nice connection with Mother Earth. All four corners of our feet are on the mat. Now we're going to bring one hand in front of our belly and one hand behind our low spine. We're going to exhale right where you are. Inhale in. Gently let go. Inhale in. And release. Then go ahead and find that center. So maybe it means tucking in your pelvis a little bit, bringing your pelvis forward, rotating of the hips. And then you're going to tuck that belly button back towards your spine. From the top part of your torso, lift the chest. Chin is slightly tucked parallel to the earth. And then feel as though as you're being pulled through the crown of your head, hands by your side in a strong standing Tadasana. Bend slightly at your knees and then sway your hips over to the right. Go ahead and go over to the left. Maybe just side to side. Engage your core. Bring that belly button back towards your spine as you inhale, your arms around and up, keeping that slight bend at the knees. Palms meet one another. Bring them down to your heart center for Pranamasana, prayer pose. I'm going to slide back a little bit. Inhale your arms around and up. And then go ahead and interlace at your fingers. Flip your hands upside down. Lean over to one side. Gaze over that armpit or bicep. And then go ahead and lean over to the opposite side. And then go ahead and gaze over that armpit or bicep. And then come back to your heart center. Palms at your heart. Deep bend at the knees. Bring your hands by your sides. Looks like you're about to sit on a chair. Now bring your hands to your knees and then go ahead and tuck that belly button back towards your spine. Lift your torso, arms out and up. And then go ahead and bring them into your heart center as you stand and then forward fold. Relax the head here. Allow your head to hang nice and heavy. Go ahead and grab at your ankles or shins. Inhale, press through the backs of your legs. Halfway look up. Belly towards spine here. Lengthen through the shoulders and arms. Bend at your knees. Plant your hands onto the earth as you step both of your feet back for top of a plank. Release your knees onto the earth. Sink your hips toward your heels. And keeping your toes tucked under, go ahead and bend forward, forehead on the mat, child's pose. This is a resting pose, y'all. You can come to it at any time. Go ahead and gaze up at your hands. Bring your hands kind of toward you a little bit. Slide them in. And then bring your torso over to a tabletop. Now your shoulders are above your wrists. And I'm going to release the tops of the feet onto the mat. I'm going to drop the belly as I inhale. And then exhale. Curl your spine. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Tuck your tail for a Halloween cat. Drop the belly for a cow as you inhale. Gaze up, hips toward the sky. And then exhale, curl your back, chin to chest. Take that one more time as you drop the belly and you inhale. And then on your exhale, you're going to curl your back and you're going to sink your hips towards your heels, and then you're going to really lengthen through the shoulders here. Little shoulder opener. Go ahead and rise up to your tabletop as you drop the belly and you inhale. Go ahead and gaze over your left hip. See if you can look at either your left hip or your left toes without moving anything. And then exhale, curl the spine. And then drop the belly as you inhale. And then exhale, and then continue to gaze over to the opposite side. See if you can gaze at your hip or toes. And then exhale, curl your spine. And then drop the belly, inhale, look up. You're gonna bend at your elbows, hug them in toward your ribs, come forward and down. Lead with your heart for chaturanga. Swoop your belly up for cobra, draw your shoulders back. Bring your heels together. And then exhale back to a child's pose. Take a breath here. Relax the forehead on the mat. You're following, inhale, look up at your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide, middle fingers facing forward. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. And then go ahead and curl your right toes under. Lengthen the leg behind you. Walk it a step back if you'd like to fully lengthen that leg. And then make sure that your thigh is rotated in toward midline as you lift that leg behind you. And then gaze at something out in front of you that's not moving, a drishti point. If available to you, you can walk the left hand, so the opposite side, out about a foot or two. Or you can really lift that arm up and then palm facing midline. We're going to curl it in for elbow to knee for 1. Inhale as you extend. Exhale it in for 2. Inhale, extend, and last one, exhale, bring it in. And then inhale, lengthen out, and then release. We'll take it the other side. So look down at your knees, make sure that they're about a hip width distance. Tops of the feet are on the mat, shoulders above the wrists. And then go ahead and curl your left toes under. Walk your foot about a foot behind, back a little bit further behind you, and then rotate that thigh in toward midline. Engage the core, belly towards spine, and then go ahead and inhale, lift that back leg behind, up, and then you can walk your right leg, a hand out in front of you, or if available to you, you can lift that hand up, palm facing midline. If you haven't found your drishti point, go ahead and do so. Just something that's not moving, you can gaze at, and then go ahead and exhale, elbow to knee for 3. Inhale, lengthen out, exhale at 2. And inhale, lengthen out, bring it in for 1. Inhale, extend, and release. Go ahead and open your knees a little bit wider, like toward hip, toward mat width the distance, and then stack your feet or bring your toes together, and then sink your hips toward your heels. Go ahead and walk your torso up towards sitting. And then really play with the rotation of your hips right here. You can either have them really forward, you can have your tail tucked under. Go ahead and bring it into center, stacking your torso onto your hips here. Relax the shoulders down, release anything that you're holding on, anything that feels uptight on the shoulders. I feel like I really hold a lot of things up there, so I'm going to go ahead and release that. I like closing my eyes in a moment like this where I can just kind of really back in. Go ahead and look out ahead in front of you. If your eyes are open, if they're not, go ahead and blink softly, open them. And then go ahead and bring your hands out in front of you just slightly so that you can roll your knees in a little bit for hero pose. I've unstacked my toes. They're perfectly pointing back behind me. And then again, my hips wanted it to like shift forward where my belly just hangs forward. I'm going to go ahead and tuck my belly button back toward my spine, lift my torso, lift. I'm almost like lifting my torso off of my hips. Go ahead and walk your hands out in front of you for that tabletop. Shoulders are above the wrists, and then go ahead and bend at the elbows, coming forward and down for that Chaturanga Dandasana, and then go ahead and push it up. And then exhale, elbows inward, come forward and down, lead with your heart onto your chin, and then push it up as you inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift it up. And last one, you guys. Exhale, coming forward and down, and inhale up. Beautiful. Go ahead and curl your toes under top of a plank, then press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Look up at your hands, middle fingers facing forward. Press your shoulders up and away from you. The legs are lengthening and your heels are reaching toward the earth. Gazing at that space in between your toes, go ahead and lift your hips up a little bit higher, belly towards spine, chest toward thighs. Lengthen through the shoulders, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe here. And then go ahead and look up at your hands. Begin to walk yourself ever so gently, ever so slowly, all the way forward to the top of your mat. Two fists in between your feet. Outer edges of the feet are parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Find a really deep bend at the knees and then go ahead and rest your chest on your thighs. You may fold or interlace the arms behind your head to find a deeper bend. If you'd like a deeper stretch behind the legs, you may start to lengthen out the legs. Press through the backs of your knees behind you. Keep breathing here. Find the balance of your body moving as it is upside down, trying to fall forward, grounding behind you. Go ahead and exhale, release the hands down, and then go ahead and plant your left hand underneath where your nose would be touching Mother Earth. Bend deeply on the same side at the left knee. Lengthen out the back leg, the right leg. If you cannot reach here, you can bring blocks or books underneath you to bring the earth a little bit closer to you. Then go ahead and rotate your torso over to that right side. You can bring your hand behind your low back, or you can lengthen out the arm up toward the sky. Gaze at your thumb here. Go ahead and breathe a few rounds of breath, lengthening through that back of that hamstring on the right side. One more breath. Go ahead and exhale as you bring down the hand and you switch the sides. So you're going to put your right hand or arm down touching the earth. You're going to bend also at the right leg, and then you're going to lengthen the opposite side. So we're going to do the left side now. You can bring your hand behind your low back here. You don't want to dump your weight. You want to lengthen, keep your torso straight. And you're pressing the earth away from your shoulder. You're not kind of just dumping the weight on it. And then you're going to, if available to you, bring the arm up toward the sky. Gaze at your thumb. 3 rounds of breath again. And then go ahead and release that arm down. Open your legs a little bit wider toward mat width distance. Sink your hips towards your heels for a yogic pose here. Go ahead and bring your elbows inside of your knees. Palms meet one another. And then really try to press those thumbs into your heart center. Take a breath, open the thighs, open the hips, I meant really the hips. And go ahead and release your hands back down to the mat. Step your right foot back and then bring that left foot in a little bit so that it is in alignment toward midline. And then go ahead and plant your right hand down and then open that left arm up toward the sky. You can bring it down to your low back or the sky, same idea. Really stretching out the sides of our thighs and gluteus maximus here. Engage both of your glutes. Nice and tight. And then go ahead and bring that hand down, lengthen out the front leg. I'm on the ball of the back foot, toes and ball. And then I'm lengthening out through the front leg. I can bend at the knee and then lengthen it out again. Go ahead and walk your hands about a foot forward. And then bend at your front knee as you kick your back leg, and then make sure that your hips are squared to the earth. Press through your back heel, and then if available to you, plant your left hand, the same foot you're balancing on, out another foot away, and then stack your hips open. Gaze at something, a drishti point that's not moving. For half moon, you're more than welcome to bring your right hand over to your right hip, opening up the shoulder a little bit more, keeping a slight bend at the knee. Continue to trace your gaze over to the right side of the room. And if available to you, you can open that right arm up toward the sky. Keep pressing through your back heel. Engage the core, lengthen the torso, and exhale. Bring it all in. Shake it out, you guys. All right, go ahead and come to the front of the mat. Inhale your arms around and up. I always like to bend slightly at the knees. Palms meet one another. Bring it down to your heart center. Forward fold, bending at the knees, chest on thighs. Step your left foot back. And then make sure that your right foot is, the outer edge of the foot is parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Once again, plant your left hand now down below your shoulder. As you rotate your body over to the right side, bring your hand to your low back or open that arm up toward the sky. Gaze at your thumb. Engage both of your glutes here. And then go ahead and bring that hand down, lengthen through the front leg, bend at the knee, and then lengthen it out again. Kind of bringing your nose toward your knee here. If your hip is sticking out to one side, go ahead and bring it in toward midline. And then go ahead and plant your right hand a little bit further as you forward as you bend at your front knee. And then go ahead and kick that left back leg up behind you. Hips are squared to the mat. And then go ahead and adjust your right hand as you begin to stack your hips on top of each other, opening to the left side of the room. I like to kick through my heel or the balls of my foot, either or. Then go ahead and gaze over to the left side of the room. Find a slight bend at your bottom knee, my right knee. And then bring your hand over to your hip if available to you. More than welcome to keep stacking the hips. Opening the shoulder to the left side of the room. Keep pressing through your back foot, either the heel or the ball of your foot. Woo! It just came off. And then lengthen through the torso. When you're ready, exhale, bring it all back in and come meet me at the front of your mat. Looking down at your feet, toes in, ankles together. Once again, the same way we started. Go ahead and deep bend at the knees. Inhale your arms around and up. Palms meet together. Bring it down to your heart center. Pranamasana. Take a moment in time to simply feel how you are now versus when you started this practice, whenever you jumped on. And then go ahead and release your hips down to Mother Earth. Sitting your sit bones there. You're going to balance on your sacrum into a V for boat pose. You can bring the soles of your feet down to the mat. Bring one leg up and then the opposite hand, and you can keep holding onto the back of your leg. You can also switch the sides to make it even. And if available to you, you can bring both arms up. Then for a little bit of a challenge, you can bring both legs up, both arms up, or legs up, hands down. So there's so many ways to get into boat pose, you guys. Just make sure that you're bringing that chest nice and tall. And then go ahead and tap your toes down for 1. Tap it down for 2. And tap it down for 3. Hold it. Lengthen it out. Bring it in. Lengthen it out as you inhale. And bring it in. Oh no. And lengthen it out and bring it in. Go ahead and lie your back all the way onto the mat. And get ready for the most important pose, Shavasana. More than welcome to do some windshield wipers just to really get into the mood of relaxation. You can hug both of your feet in towards your chest, maybe lengthening out the spine here, rolling side to side. And then go ahead and lengthen out your legs out and away as you relax. Letting go of the grip of the tongue, the muscles around your eyes. Relax. Bringing the breath back into your being. I invite you to stay here, but if you must get going, go ahead and begin to wiggle out the fingertips, wiggle out the toes. Maybe stretching your arms over above you like that morning sunrise. Rolling onto your right side in the fetal pose. Taking this time to simply thank yourself for showing up, giving your body the maintenance it requires of you. Keeping your eyes closed as much as possible. Pressing yourself up to your most comfortable seated position or Sukhasana. Acknowledging the blank emptiness. Acknowledging this moment of stillness. Putting your hands into your heart center. I want to invite you to set an intention for today. Whatever it is that you're working through, maybe once I post this, post on the comments, what is it that you're working on? Is it personal? Is it physical? Personal as in, emotional, mental, your character. Is it physical? Are you working to strengthen, an area of your body, or are you working on eating healthier? Are you reading a book? What is it? Who's the author? Set an intention for today, and I would like to invite you to practice that for 5 minutes before you go to sleep tonight. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice of yoga. May you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Namaste. You may blink softly, open your eyes. Good job. Yay. Another Tuesday. Woohoo. I don't know why my heater's not working right now. It is cold. So I'm going to go make me some tacos because it is Taco Tuesday. And again, I'll see you guys very, very soon.